Welcome to Practical BTP Organization. Let's apply what you have learned to real scenarios. This means using your BTP knowledge to solve actual business problems. For example, you could build a simple app that automatically notifies warehouse teams when inventory runs low. This hands-on practice will solidify your understanding and build confidence in your BTP skills. We will look at examples that work well in practice. This means we explore proven scenarios that are effective and reliable in real business environments. For instance, integrating SAP SuccessFactors with SAP S/4HANA for seamless employee data synchronization. These practical illustrations will build your confidence in applying BTP solutions successfully. You will learn how to avoid common mistakes. This means understanding typical errors made when setting up BTP so you can prevent them proactively. For example, many beginners incorrectly assign developer roles to end users, causing access issues. Mastering these points will build your confidence and save valuable time. Focus on what actually works for teams. This means prioritizing tools and processes that help teams collaborate efficiently and deliver results faster, not just using every available feature. For example, using SAP Build apps for quick prototyping instead of complex custom development. This practical approach ensures your team stays productive and projects move forward smoothly. Organizing multiple teams with a real-world example. Development team needs separate space from production team. This means keeping development work completely isolated from live operations to prevent disruptions. For instance, developers building a new feature use a dedicated development sub-account, while the production team maintains the stable customer-facing system. This separation ensures safe innovation without risking business operations. Each team gets their own sub-account for their work. This means every team has a separate, secure space in SAP BTP to develop and manage their applications without interfering with others. For example, the HR team uses their sub-account for payroll apps, while finance handles budgeting in theirs. This clear separation ensures focused development and responsibility. Use clear naming DEV-TeamA, PROD-TeamA. This means each team's sub-account is labeled with its purpose and team name for immediate recognition. For instance, Team A has DEV-TeamA for development work and PROD-TeamA for their live applications. This straightforward approach prevents confusion and streamlines management across your projects. This keeps work separate and organized. This means each team works independently without interfering with others' projects. For example, one team handles payroll apps in their own sub-account, while another develops sales tools separately. This clear separation prevents overlap and maintains order across all development efforts. Create team sub-accounts as the first implementation step. Go to BTP Cockpit Global Account View. This means you access the central SAP BTP administrative interface where all your accounts are managed. For example, a project lead would start here to organize resources for a new development team. This initial step is essential for setting up your team's dedicated workspace in SAP BTP. Click Create Sub-Account button. This action initiates the process of setting up a dedicated space for your team's projects. For example, if you are developing a custom HR app, you create a sub-account specifically for that initiative. This foundational step organizes your work and resources effectively. Name it clearly for the team and purpose. This means your subaccount name should instantly tell everyone which team uses it and what it is for. For example, if the HR team needs a development environment, name it HR-Dev environment. This simple practice prevents confusion and ensures your team always selects the right subaccount for their work. Choose the right region for your team's location. This means selecting the geographic data center closest to where your team works. For instance, if your team is in Germany, pick the Europe, Frankfurt region to ensure faster access and lower latency. This simple choice optimizes performance and responsiveness for all users. Environment separation, why it matters for enterprise success. Keep development work away from live systems. This means you should test and build new features in a separate environment, not where your actual business runs. For example, a developer creates a new sales report in a test system first, not in the one processing real orders. This prevents disruptions and protects your daily operations from errors. Test new features safely without risk. This means trying updates in an isolated environment where mistakes will not impact your live business operations. For example, a developer can test a new application integration in a development space without affecting the production system used by customers. This controlled approach ensures your core business remains stable and secure. Development, testing, and production each need their own space. This means you build, check, and run your apps in separate, dedicated areas to avoid interference. For example, developers can add new features in the development space without disrupting the live application used by customers. Keeping these environments distinct ensures stability and safety throughout your project's life cycle. This prevents accidents and confusion. This means keeping development, testing, and production environments separate to avoid costly mistakes. For example, testing a new feature in a development environment first prevents accidentally breaking the live system used by customers. This separation is essential for stable and reliable operations. Setting up your environments for development and production. Create 3 subaccounts: Dev, Test, Prod. This means establishing separate workspaces for developing, testing, and running your final application. For instance, build new features in Dev, check for issues in Test, and deploy the stable version to prod for users. This structure ensures a controlled and reliable path from creation to production. Use the same region for all 3. This ensures your subaccount, development, and production environments are geographically close, minimizing network latency for smooth communication. For instance, if your team is in Europe, select Europe, Frankfurt for all 3 setups. This simple step prevents potential integration issues and keeps your application running efficiently. Add Dev, Test, Prod to subaccount names. This clearly labels each environment for its purpose: development, testing, and production. For example, name your accounts Finance Dev, Finance Test, and Finance Prod. This simple practice prevents costly configuration mistakes by ensuring teams use the correct environment for their work. This makes it easy to see which is which. In simple terms, when you assign unique names and labels to your development and production environments, you can instantly identify each one. For example, name them Dev_ProjectX and Prod_ProjectX. This clear naming prevents mistakes, ensuring you always work in the correct environment for your tasks. Tracking costs by project or team. Each project gets its own sub-account. This means you create a separate, secure space in SAP BTP for each project, so all its costs and resources are isolated. For example, the HR team's payroll app runs in its own sub-account, separate from the finance team's reporting tool. This clear separation makes tracking and managing expenses straightforward. Costs are tracked separately for each. This means you can assign and monitor expenses specifically for individual projects or teams. For example, a company can see exactly how much their marketing team spent on app development versus their sales team. This clear division helps in accurate budgeting and accountability. Easy to see which projects use more resources. This means you can quickly identify where cloud spending is highest. For example, if your marketing team's campaign app consumes significantly more memory and storage than others, it will be clearly highlighted. This immediate visibility helps you manage budgets and optimize resource allocation effectively. Helps with budgeting and planning. This means you can see exactly where money is spent, so you can make smarter decisions about future spending. For example, if a marketing project is costing more than expected, you can adjust its budget or scope. This clarity ensures your resources are always aligned with your priorities. Step 2. Configure your cost tracking system. In Cockpit, go to your sub-account. This means navigating in SAP BTP to the specific project space where your applications and services run. For instance, if managing an online store's backend, you'd select its dedicated sub-account. This ensures all subsequent cost monitoring is accurately scoped to your relevant environment. Click on Usage Analytics. This opens a dashboard showing your service consumption and costs. For example, if you test a new app, you can immediately see its resource usage and associated charges here. This step is essential for maintaining financial control and preventing unexpected bills. Set up labels for your projects. This means tagging your BTP resources with custom identifiers to organize and track costs. For example, label all resources for your mobile app project with Project Mobile. This allows you to easily filter and report on all related expenses, ensuring you can monitor your budget effectively for each initiative. Check usage reports regularly. This means routinely viewing your BTP account's consumption data to monitor spending against your budget. For example, review weekly reports to see if development team testing is causing higher than expected resource costs. This regular habit is your first line of defense for cost control. Security and access management. Keep it simple. Give people only what they need to do their job. This means assigning minimal access rights, no extra permissions. For example, a salesperson gets access to customer data but not payroll systems. This focused approach reduces risk and keeps your SAP BTP environment secure and efficient. Developers get access to DEV, not PROD. This means they can only build and test applications in the development environment, never in the live production system. For example, a developer updates code in the dev space to fix a bug but cannot deploy it directly to customer-facing prod. This separation ensures stability and security for your live operations. Use role collections to group permissions. This means bundling individual authorizations into predefined sets for easy assignment. For example, create a project manager role collection containing permissions to view reports and approve budgets. This approach simplifies user access management and ensures consistency across your team. Review access regularly. This means periodically checking who has access to your SAP BTP applications and data to ensure only the right people have permissions. For example, if an employee changes roles, you should verify and update their access rights. This simple habit is essential for maintaining a secure and compliant environment. Assign team members to your business roles. In Cockpit, go to Security Users. This means you navigate to the SAP BTP Cockpit, select the Security menu, and then choose Users. For example, to add a developer to your project, you would use this path. This is where you manage who can access your applications and services. Add team members by email. This means you enter their email addresses into the BTP cockpit to grant them access. For instance, to onboard a new developer, you would add their company email. This simple step ensures your colleagues can immediately start working on the project. Assign the right role collections. This means giving users only the permissions they need for their job. For example, a developer gets the developer role collection, not administrator. This ensures security and efficiency by following least privilege principles. Proper assignment protects your systems and data while enabling productivity. Test that they can access what they need. This means verifying each member can use the assigned tools and data. For example, after adding a developer to your project, have them log in to check they can view and edit the application code. This simple step prevents access issues and keeps your project moving forward smoothly. Team collaboration made easy with our integrated platform. Share sub-accounts with team members. This means granting your colleagues access to your development environment so they can work on the same applications and services. For example, a developer can share their sub-account so a teammate can help deploy a new application. This ensures your entire team can collaborate effectively within the same secure space. Use spaces for different parts of your project. Think of spaces as separate rooms for distinct project areas, keeping everything organized. For example, use one space for development, another for testing, and a third for production. This ensures each project phase remains isolated and manageable, streamlining your team's workflow and preventing overlap. Set up notifications for important events. This means automatically alerting your team when key activities occur, like a task completion or data update, so everyone stays informed without manual checks. For example, get a notification when a sales order is finalized, ensuring immediate follow-up. This keeps all team members synchronized and responsive to critical developments. Create documentation everyone can access. This means storing all project guides and notes centrally so every team member can view and update them anytime. For example, a developer can immediately check the latest API setup guide without asking colleagues. This shared access keeps everyone aligned and eliminates version confusion, ensuring the whole team works from the same information. Regular maintenance ensures a clean and efficient system. Delete old sub-accounts you no longer need. This means removing unused accounts from your BTP environment to avoid clutter and reduce costs. For example, if a development project is finished, delete its dedicated sub-account. This simple action helps keep your BTP landscape organized and efficient. Remove team members who have left the project. This means promptly revoking system access for individuals no longer involved. For instance, when a developer moves to another team, immediately delete their BT account. This ensures only current members can access resources, maintaining security and compliance. Clean up unused applications and services. This means removing old or unused systems to save resources and reduce clutter. For instance, if you tested a development app but aren't using it, delete it from your account. This simple action keeps your environment efficient and secure. Do this monthly to stay organized. This means routinely tidying your SAP BTP environment by removing unused items like old development spaces or trial accounts. For example, archive and delete any test projects from last month that are no longer active. This simple habit prevents clutter and keeps your platform running efficiently. Common mistakes to avoid in your implementation. Do not mix development and production work. This means keep your testing and live systems completely separate. For instance, if you are building a new app, never test it on the server where your real business data is running. This strict separation prevents costly errors and protects your critical operations. Do not give everyone full access to everything. This means applying the principle of least privilege, granting users only the permissions essential for their specific roles. For instance, a developer should not have the same administrative rights as a system owner. This targeted approach minimizes security risks and prevents accidental system-wide changes. Do not forget to track your costs. This means you must actively monitor your BTP resource usage and billing, as cloud services are pay-per-use. For example, a developer left a test environment running over a weekend, resulting in unexpected charges. Regularly checking your usage helps prevent budget overruns and controls expenses. Do not skip regular cleanup. This means routinely removing unused services, data, and applications from your BTP account to avoid clutter and unexpected costs. For example, an old test database you forgot about can keep accruing monthly fees. Consistent cleanup is essential for maintaining an efficient and cost-effective cloud environment. Your strategic action plan for implementation. Start with one dev sub-account for your team. This means creating a single, shared development environment where all team members can build and test applications together. For example, a team developing a new employee onboarding app uses this shared space to collaborate. This focused approach simplifies management and accelerates your initial project delivery. Set up cost tracking from the beginning. This means monitoring your BTP usage and spending right from the start of your project. For example, if you deploy a new application, immediately check its resource consumption in the BTP cockpit to avoid unexpected bills. Proactive monitoring ensures you stay within budget and avoid surprises. Assign team members with clear roles. This means each person knows their specific responsibilities in the BTP project. For example, one developer builds the app, another manages the database, and an administrator handles security. This clarity prevents confusion and ensures every task is completed efficiently. Plan your test and prod environments early. This means deciding how your development, testing, and live systems will be set up before you start building. For instance, a company building a new app would create separate, isolated spaces for developers to code and testers to validate, preventing disruptions. Proactive planning ensures a stable and secure path from development to go live. You are ready to organize. You now know how to structure teams and projects. This means assigning clear roles, like developers and administrators, to specific development spaces and subaccounts in BTP. For instance, a payment integration team would have its own space to build and test their apps securely. This organization is the foundation for efficient and secure development. You understand environment separation. This means keeping development, testing, and production stages in distinct, secure areas. For instance, developers build a new feature in a development environment, testers validate it in a separate testing space, and only then is it deployed to the live production system for users. This practice ensures stability and safety throughout your application's lifecycle. You can track costs and manage access. This means you monitor your spending on BTP services and control who can use them. For example, a project lead can view monthly expenses and grant team members permission to specific development tools. This ensures your projects stay within budget and remain secure. You are prepared to avoid common pitfalls. This means you have learned to sidestep frequent errors, like not planning your account structure properly. For example, setting up separate sub-accounts for development and production prevents accidental changes to live systems. This foundational knowledge helps you build stable and secure SAP BTP solutions right from the start.